political conditions were very uncertain. Telescope had already been invented. Paris Observatory, Greenwich Observatory, using modern astronomy, had already been set up. So this was anachronistic. It was modeled after Ulugh-Beg observatory, but it's less accurate than Ulugh-Beg, the original observatory. After this, Jai Singh shifted his capital from Ambed to the new city Jaipur and built a better, bigger observatory, which is better preserved than this thing, because Delhi was the seat of political turmoil, but not. There is a misconception in people's mind, and that arises because of non-education. Misinformation always comes because there is no education. And I think there is need for all of us to appreciate that the astronomical observations do not become redundant. An observatory cannot become redundant. Let me again tell you a story, Professor Yashpal. Some 2 years ago, a young man, that was the year when there was some confusion about Diwali, date of festivals. So this young man asked me, why is there confusion about Diwali date? So I tried to explain to him. I said the problem arises because this year has 13 months. And he gave up. He said, I don't understand this astrological nonsense. We have got so much used to the calendar on the wall, our digital diary, our digital watch, clock, that we forget that timekeeping has been a very important aspect of world civilization. We use Gregorian calendar, we talk of January, February, but there are other systems of timekeeping. Nobody is surprised that leap year has an extra day. So why should you get surprised if some years have an extra month? All these point to the fact that our life has become so mechanical, so service-oriented, so career-oriented, and our school system has been overwhelmed by examination system and more so by CET, where you say yes or no, that we are forgetting some of the basic facts about nature. And it's a paradox that we live in an age of science and technology, but a common person today knows much less about their natural environment than 100 years ago or 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. And I'm very happy to say that Nehru Planetarium, Nehru Library, Department of Culture, Nehru Planetarium, especially Dr. Ratnashri, who has a doctorate in modern good thesis, has been trying to activate Jantar Mantar as an object. And I am very happy that she has been successful in persuading school and school students to participate. It's a very interesting thing that education system overwhelms you. But here is in the open, you can sharpen your observational skills, you can learn about nature, you can learn about science, how the principles of science remain the same whether you are in Ulugh-Beg's time or whether you are in Jai Singh's time or you are in Einstein's time. So this is a very important point, but there is a problem also, and that problem is a legitimate problem which has to be addressed, and we'll be discussing other issues, but I would like your comment on this at the end of the problem is this. Briefly, history-wise, this was built in around 1720. It was ransacked, I think 10 or 20 years later, and nobody cared for it, till the British decided to shift the capital to Delhi. A darbar was held. The then Raja of Jaipur was asked to renovate this observatory. He did, which was a pretty bad job at that time, and the subsequent jobs by ASI have been worse, because the standards of PWD have fallen from 1910 to 1950. So technically this building is owned by Archaeological Survey of India, and very rightly so, the monuments which fall under ASI cannot be improved. They can be demolished without permission, but they cannot be improved. So we have a peculiar situation that we have an astronomical observatory. I don't see why 1910 should be a benchmark or 1950 should be a benchmark. If there is a benchmark, that should be 1720. And fortunately, we have another Jantar Mantar, which provides us clues to the existence of this Jantar Mantar. So, in other words, I would like this House to pass a resolution at the end, if you approve of it, saying to the effect, I think the exact wording should be left to the panel, but what we would like your support for is that, even if we have to go to the Parliament, that Jantar Mantar Raja Jai Singh's observatory should be activated as a functional scientific laboratory.
Teaching laboratory.
I think
scientific laboratory open to everyone.
Yeah, and also open at night.
Yes, no, let's not. At the moment, you need, because ASI's hands are tied. You are permitted to mark with chalk because they can be washed. But if you said that let me scratch it, you are not permitted, and rightly so, because that's the way law stands. It's a very valid archaeological survey laws apply to all monuments. What we are suggesting to, not to ASI, but to the Government of India, but to the Parliament is that our act should make a distinction between other monuments and Jantar Mantar, which is an observation. I think I'll stop here and
may I
please.
just add a comment? I think the special thing about this archaeological inheritance is that we should certainly not alter the paints and things like that which were there needlessly. Because in normal archaeological restorations you want to keep it as it was. You like to keep it as it was, but if there is a slight error, we should make it better, because we know what the intention was. The intention was to be astronomically very good. We should respect that intention, and we should use same or similar materials as well at that time, but if we need to make a better edge somewhere,
Yes.
the intention was to have a good edge. And if you can make a better edge somewhere, make so that you have made a better edge to make better observation, but so that you are respecting, giving honor to the intention and not necessarily freezing. The other monuments are of different nature. Here the past is somehow with us in a way.
So do you, let's, before we proceed,
Sorry.
please go ahead.
Very briefly, because based on what both Professor Yasha and Professor Kochhar has said, that we've been collaborating on the conservation and restoration of the Jantar Mantar for the past 6 years, the Park Hotel and the NCF with the ASI. And what both of you said is very interesting, because that's what we are emphasizing, that it's a functional restoration. The Jantar Mantar is unique. It's not like any other monument, because in any other monument, the challenge in conservation is to make sure that physically it's healthy and it doesn't degrade, and to get back to original appearance, etc. But here the original function is paramount. So that makes it uniquely challenging from a conservation point of view. And in fact, even for the physical conservation of the museum, we are preceding it by studies with Dr. Ratnashri, where we can actually check the masonry parameters and see whether
Let's not go into the details, because
Yes.
the job. But I want to emphasize, and I'm sure Mr. Sharma will agree, I have worked closely with ASI on various issues. ASI's hands are tied. If I were the Director General of ASI, even as an astronomer, I would not permit Nehru Planetarium to scratch it, because that would be the violation of the law as it stands. So what we are asking for is two things. Within the existing laws, whatever latitude ASI has, we should be able to do that. If need be, we should be able to make a representation signed by eminent people like Professor Yashpal. If need be, we can involve other experts, we are ready to even involve UNESCO or whosoever is needed, that Jantar Mantar should be possible to make Jantar Mantar usable as it was, as an observatory, as it was.
As it was, like the point which Mr. Yashpal was saying in terms of respecting the intention. For instance, whatever has been possible to judge of what was the original least count, for instance, in this instrument, seems to have been 2 seconds. But perhaps currently, when there is a restoration, a 1 second marking is feasible.
Excuse me, I would... No.
And not detailed, but overall in terms of the spirit of it.
No, the issues involved are something else, excuse me. For example, do we freeze it at 1910 or do we freeze it at 1720?
It has
all
in time.
Therefore, these are matters for more technical people.
Well, in conservation parlance, you always go back to the original spirit of which is 1710. There will be no
No.
I'll just say one thing, if you permit me. Let us first agree to one aspect, that is, we will have it as a functional observatory. That is one thing. Now, to have it as a functional observatory, because as mentioned by the panel chairman, there have been developments wrongly done. Wrong developments have been there, and then definitely inaccuracies are there. So a lot of research has to go first to ensure how it is accurately functional. It should not be only functional, it should be accurately.
Yeah.
Accuracy is very important. Otherwise, impression will go. The things, the way they were observed at that time, were not perhaps accurate. So accuracy is very important aspect if we are to make it as a functional observatory. So I think a lot of research has to go. And thereafter, what are the suggestions, where are the changes, whether we are going to the original or we are going beyond original also, that will be changed.
No, I just dropped in like that. I have really had no clear. All you're dropping is okay, follow.
After Dr.
My is that I totally agree that first somebody will have to find out what was the original 720. I don't know whether that complete record is available. Somebody will have to find out. And restoration to the original thing. Now whether it will be 1720 or 1910, 1910, that has to be, again what you rightly mentioned, that what is the latitude of the Hydrological Survey of India, whether they are allowed to go to 1720 or 1910, that has to be clear. But most important thing is that we have to trace back to where it was.
Would anyone from the audience like to say anything on this particular aspect? Any phrase you think will sum up? Because we all agree that Jantar Mantar should be reactivated as a functional observatory. I think we should add another phrase to it so that the door is open. Because what we would like to do is clarify our own thoughts, and before we go to the government, I think the government can't decide, it will have to go to the parliament. So we'll go to ASI will have to go to the government, finally we have to go to the parliament. And before any decision is taken at the government level, I am sure some of the experts here or other experts from India, from abroad, who are better authorities on Jantar Mantar than we are. So all we can do is to phrase it in such a manner that the future developments are anticipated at least within that framework of the frame.
No, I was going in an entirely, this is a very important thing, and I have not thought about it, but I was born just 200 meters away from here, and I have visited it as a child. Main thing I find is that most of the time, there is nobody who can explain. For example, Mystery Yantra, I yet don't know, and then there will be nobody around who says, I mean, this is the easiest to understand is the Samrat. But why should you require a Ram Yantra? Why should you require a Mystery Yantra? I mean, for that, I mean, the well-trained people who understand should be there.
Yes.
Okay.
There was a suggestion that there should perhaps be here an interpretation center which came up where perhaps there is an astronomer on site.
I may also add
with
that
activities.
Actually, basically, whosoever visitors are coming in the temple, we are trying to explain them all these mantras. And in the today mornings, most of the people are very interested and they come here and do the sundial time readings. So it depends upon the visitors. Someone say कि नहीं तो ऐसी है कि picking the hands into the thing. But
No, what I'm saying is not, it doesn't really pertain to this time. I'm saying from the early times I have been here, I think in 1947 onwards. Basically, we came here to play. Yeah, I mean, there was nobody, to tell you what the mission was. The point is that children are the most curious creatures. They would like to know that someone can explain that this is essentially a sundial. But what about the Mishri Yantra, Ram Yantra? How are they? They don't look like sundials, so we didn't know what they were. And there were children actually asked two cylinder-like things standing there. Why are they there? I didn't know.
let me make another please.
I think let us come to now. Let's not give the impression that nothing useful can be done around here as it is. It's not true.
Lots can be done. A lot.
It's fantastic. This work which all of you are involved in, the interest which has been taken, that you are actually taking observations. You are taking observations to the extent that you can get the local time to a second apart, 1 second and so on, which probably was the best you could have thought of. So from that point of view, there can be some interim things which could be done without violating anybody.
Please.
Yeah. And for example, the markings are going somewhere. I'm not saying put new markings, but at least the markings which are there should be made clear and clean. I can go to the mission yantra and see it's very difficult to see the markings. The painting is all gone, but we can put the markings where they are. So I think this kind of restoration, this kind of bringing it to the kind of use to which it is being put at the moment easier, I think would be nice. This would be within.
Yes.
we are working on that.
Yeah.
Okay,
But we
काफी
should
जाके
also.
देखिए चारों तरफ हर जगह दिखता है कि अरे यार ये तो जरा मध्यम पड़ गया या टूट गया है, इसको ठीक करना चाहिए, इसी तरह का प्लास्टर लगा के विदाउट रियली ऑल्टरिंग इट ग्रेटली इन एनी सेंस. बहुत सारी जगह पे मिशन यंत्र में खासकर दिखता है कि बहुत सारी चीज़ें all those things can be cleaned up and painted and marked, restored, so that it begins to look a bit dressed up, not
Yeah.
changed.
Yes.
I think this it can.
Yeah, if I could respond to that.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Before you say anything, just ask the chair. But let me make 2 points. I want to give you a piece of information. UNESCO has declared 2009 as the year of astronomy, because that would be the 400th anniversary of Galileo's use of telescope. So there is already a big occasion coming. There is a body called International Astronomical Union, which has 2 divisions. One deals with history of astronomy, the other deals with education in astronomy. And as it happens, I'm the national representative on the education part, and I'm also a member of the executive committee on history part. And another national book trust has invited Rati Shri and me, we haven't done anything so far, to write a book on Jantar Mantar, which they are ready to publish.
A lot of history is there.
So the main point is that there is the desire, there is an opportunity, and I think in the light of what Professor Yashpal and Dr. Sharma has said and others have also expressed, we should all resolution should be one-line resolution so that they can be polished and refined later. I think we all agree that we would like to see Jantar Mantar reactivated as a functional astronomical observatory, consistent with the spirit of the foundation. If we put it something like this, then what the point Professor Yashpal has made a very important point, that within the existing law, ASI should be flexible enough, should be cooperative enough to, we can't break the law, but let us bend the law to the extent it will help us. And we also have the mandate to have a long-term plan to get Jantar Mantar recognized as a unique scientific monument. So, and if need be, and I am ready, I can promise that with some confidence, if need be, for classifying Jantar Mantar as a unique historical monument, we can even take the help of IAU, International Astronomical Union, which will strengthen the hands of ASI in persuading the government to make an exception. In the case of Jantar Mantar, and by association, other Jantar Mantars. So do we all agree? And I would also suggest that the exact wording be left later. So you authorize this panel to draft a resolution which gives the essence of the discussion that has taken place. Is that okay? Right. Now, if there are any specific questions pertaining to any aspect of the science, astronomical, architectural, mythological, whatever, we can have some questions and we can try to answer them.
Right? Are there some good books on images and architecture
Yes, there are
From
some.
architecture point of view, treating, looking at Jantar Mantar, there is one book, I do not remember. Looking at it
Andreas
architecturally.
Wolvasson's book, but it's
Looking
purely
looking at it aesthetic. And as far as the
Yeah.
it's important, but I think sometimes the emphasis on the sculptural shapes underlines and sort of submerges the cultural importance.
mixed those. The point is mix that beauty
Yes.
with the markings and the presence and the sutras and penumbras and so on. That is really beauty. Other than the sun is bright and you're getting any shadows and somebody sees sutras and somebody's measuring. I think this most important thing about this is that this observatory establishes a kinship with the sun. Okay? Because most of the time you're working with the sun. You can work with, of course, with planets and stars in addition. But I think sun is at the center.
Yes.
And the various aspects of that are very, very important. With shadows and so on and measurements. जब ये बच्चा वो कर रहा था क्या वो कर रहा
पेन से
था बॉल पेन से कर रहा था तो
वो तो सिर्फ देखने के लिए मार्क
Acha,
कर रहे हैं।
any
मार्क
question from children? Professor Yashpal, we want to make use of you. Please answer, because we are very fortunate that you are here and we want to give the benefit to the bachas. Any question, first of all, from any students or any member on anything